Hello, welcome to another EagleSix test video. We're going to be testing this customs build. It was a second-hand gun that was sent in. We get asked about them quite often, and we take second-hand builds. We do obviously new ones that we sell on the website, but you know, second-hand ones need love too. An off can benefit from things like servicing much more, because they're obviously predominantly a lot looser, things like loose stock tubes, loose front end, and all this sort of stuff we can fix, and ultimately makes a more solid gun, which feels just nicer. So this particular one was level 8 build, so we've obviously replaced all the internals with laylax Prometheus internals, things like cylinder heads, gears, bearings, obviously power spring, spring guides, cylinder, yeah, everything basically, tappet plate, air nozzle, all the Prometheus stuff, and also the hang on a second, for the Firefly Hop Rubber, we've done that with the Prometheus flat nub, which obviously gives slightly tighter groupings and a bit more lift on those heavier ammo types, but according to the paperwork, the customer's not going to be going too heavy, so we haven't gone too extreme, if you know what I mean, with regards to how much lift it's going to be getting. And also we've installed the gate basic, and the laylax trigger pin in here. So motor wise, we've done the nuprol high torque, quite like that one, and then the customers also asked for the CTR mod, so I just thought I would sort of just demonstrate the installation of this, and also just show you here when we go with like aftermarket stocks that don't have the wireless system, you have to remove the proprietary wireless connector that's on here, and you have to either bring some wires off the connections to give yourself an extension, or you have to obviously, if you fit in a gate, you just string the original wire through, cut it to the length you want, and then put a Dean's connector on. We just thought we'd sort of explain that a bit more, because we get asked quite a lot about it. Once you've got the thing coming off there, you can then essentially fit any stock. You just got to remember that recoils don't have the usual space inside the stock tube that you can just stuff wiring and batteries and stuff, because they have a reciprocating weight in there that gives you the recoil effect. So which is why it's so complicated to fit aftermarket stocks on recoils, because obviously battery space, you know, where do you put the batteries? So this is where the CTR mod and stock comes in. Obviously, you know, this is a stock that's prolific in movies and SEAL team currently, so obviously it's very popular stock. This is the real steel genuine Magpul, and what we've done, we've modified the end of it here, so we've got quite a lot more space, just takes some pressure off the butt pad, and we've also got a 1300 7.4 milliamp lipo in there, so you just insert the battery in there, so you just tuck up the wires so that they're coming through up there, and then you've got wire coming off, and then you can simply connect up your 1300 to this, and then obviously you've got your sort of extension and your wires left over. Obviously there's nowhere for this to go, so you're never fully going to be able to collapse into that home position, just because obviously there's so much sort of jammed up in here, so obviously that is a negative, you know, whereas the wireless system is, you know, it gets rid of the wires, so you have a smooth moving stock, but obviously there is always going to be some compromise, you know, for having these custom cosmetic looks, you know, that kind of thing, but we've tried to do it in a way that's still provides you know, ease of use and a nice fit. Obviously what we've done with our way we do it, we've left the screw in the bottom here, so you can now just tighten this. That's it. So because obviously we take off so much of the pressure of the battery being in there, and it gives like a nice little space above the battery, it means that there's nothing actually physically pressing on this stock here, and because we use the genuine stuff and not the repro stuff, it's a lot harder physically, so these actual prongs here are much tougher in that you can pick up and carry. We wouldn't recommend it, but you can hold this stock by that, so you don't actually have to put Velcro using this method. So whereas obviously if you use the repro stocks, you save money, but then you're probably going to have to put the Velcro around there, and obviously, you know, the whole point of these guns is that they're not cheap guns, you know, they're nice guns, and it just seems to be a bit of a backwards method, you know, spending so much on a gun to then apply Velcro. So, you know, That's just us though. So it's obviously the way we've developed this by obviously taking extra material out of the stock is because it reduces that pressure from the battery, and therefore you've got less pushing the stock or the butt pad off. So yeah, so it's all nice and good. So obviously still a bit of an issue if you're trying to go into that full home position. I mean, technically it will go in there, but you're obviously really jamming that wiring down in there. Yeah, so so obviously if you are going to go into that full home position, you will need to brace it. But like I say, for everything else, you can generally go up and down, and it doesn't actually push off the stock, because like I say, it's very, very hard how they clip into there. So it's quite nice. Obviously over time, that may soften up a little bit, but then you can always buy a new butt pad if you wanted to. Some people buy multiples, so you've got sort of spare ones, but obviously there's a cost involved in obviously us hollowing out this thing. So because we do it, we don't do it on a CNC machine or anything, we do it all by hand, and it's very time consuming. So yeah, but that's the like I say, CTR stock that we've gone over, and as you can see, it gives the gun a lovely look to it. So like I say, we've done full build, talked about it, and customer did ask us to install a sling point on there, so we've fit that for you, and obviously we've tightened up the rail, tightened up the stock, so that's all good. So we're just going to stress test it today. Our chrono readings were 342 on 2s and 264 on 3.2s. So yeah, pretty good FPS result on that one. So we're just going to sling some ammo through it just to make sure everything's good. So a lovely quick trigger response there. And yeah, it's a really nice rate of fire there. So everything's still solid, passed the extended testing, and yeah, I hope you're very happy with the build and that you enjoy it, and we'll try and get this back to you as soon as we can. So thank you very much.